Hello, welcome to the Rusty Heel Show, the Dusty Wheel's slightly uncouth and completely unofficial cousin. I am Rob, the pubkeeper, and tonight we are talking about the Forsaken and how evil they are. But before we get into that, let's talk about let's say a small event I've got happening at the weekend. This weekend is quite the party. Basically, I'm turning a year old, in effect. Yes, I'm a very weird looking baby. I'm a year old, and I'm having a party for it. So yeah, this weekend's starting at 12 Eastern or 5 p.m. UK time, depending on where you are. You'll have to work it out from there. My brain is just not going to work at 2 in the morning to figure that out. Yeah, we're having a party. So I've got loads of people coming on. We've got different segments. I'm doing a quiz in Discord, as you can see on there. So, and there's going to be some Wheel of Time shipping, and there's going to be some giveaways, and we're going to play games, and it's just going to be, it's going to be hilarious and so much fun. So I hope you can stop by and join us, because it's going to be brilliant. I know Matt Hatch has got a show on Sunday, but come see us. Because it's going to be more fun. You're going to enjoy it. So, and that's it. That's my only announcement. So, please come and have some fun, and, you might win some prizes. I'm putting together a goodie pack. I've got someone working on that. So, we'll see what happens with that. But let me bring in my guests for this evening. We are talking about the Forsaken and how evil they can be. So I have the wonderful trio of people come to join me, and they are, I'm going to bring them up on screen. Bosh, bosh, bosh. I'm not quite Taylor, but, that's just how it goes. So please welcome Jim from Fantasy for the Ages, Ro, and Delusions of Graendal. How we doing, everybody? Hey. Yes, it's good to have you here. So, yeah, I've thrown this together sort of last minute. The innkeeper decided to take a well-earned week off. This first one in 7 months, because it's the innkeeper's wife's birthday. So happy birthday to the innkeeper's wife. Happy name day. There's a drink. So, yeah, cheers to you, Terry. It's slightly better than version 1 was. Version 1 was, oh my god, we had a change in link, and it was pretty crazy. No guest audio apparently. What's going on? Why is there no guest audio? There should be. Showing off with the sign language.
Excuse you.
Right, what's going on? Why is that not? That should work. Why can... the joys of... Right, okay. Give us a second. I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh, that says audio. And it's gone. Okay. Yeah. Can Jim just mind the whole show? I love that. Okay. Can you hear anything now, folks? I mean, that would be helpful. You had it, but it dropped. Oh, God, what's going on? Audio for a brief shining moment. Right. Let's have a look what's going on. Everything seems right there. So, I don't understand why.
Trying to think how we can be entertaining without sound.
Okay. So I'm getting bars movement now. Hopefully this should be working. There's a delay in the chat, obviously. So
right,
and it's happening.
Is it
happening?
Is it happening? I see movement on the sound bars.
Give us a sign, people. Give us a sign.
See, this is what happens when you don't have a Taylor, isn't it? So
Tailors are important.
Just Rob. Yeah. Yay! There we go. We've got sound.
All
All
right.
right,
Smashed
good.
it.
We're there now.
So let's just pretend that let's do the intro. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Yay! Welcome, my guests.
Hey.
Okay. So how are we doing, guests? Now that the
Hey,
the folks
Dusty
can
Wheel
hear-
is here.
Nice. We're doing great. It's good to be here.
Yeah, welcome, innkeeper. It's good to have you here at your uncouth cousin and unofficial cousins show. How are the name day celebrations going on? You have to tell us that, innkeeper. How is Terry? Is she having a good time? Are you treating her with like lots of gifts and just all the attention and such? We need to know. Put it in chat. Put it in chat. So we're here to talk about how evil are the Forsaken, and this kind of follows on from an appearance that Jim made on the podcast with Zach last week. Obviously, we recorded it before last week, but it came out last week, and we discussed, are the Forsaken redeemable, and who, if any of them, are redeemable. And we put together a bit of a list. We each ranked them from 1 to 13, 1 being most redeemable, 13 being least redeemable. I mean,
Yeah, screw them. They're gone.
yeah, we did say that they are the Forsaken. They're kind of just not redeemable to start with, but maybe we're
Are we
being.
calling them the Forsaken, or are we calling them the Chosen?
I mean, you can call them the Chosen Graendal. That's up to you. Like,
Yeah, you certainly can. I'm not in the club, so now they're the
You can't
well
sit with
under
us.
the light. I'm well under the light over here. They are Forsaken queen.
all right, so we've got a few of us calling them Forsaken. I mean, I am Black Archer, so I should call them Chosen, technically speaking. So, all right, so two saying Chosen, two saying Forsaken. So, we had a chat about the Chosen, Forsaken, whatever. And we ranked them, and we didn't agree on all of them, did we, Jim? Apart from Demon Dread. So, but yeah, we put together a. I love this. About to board a ship to watch fireworks over the lake off Navy Pier in Chicago. That's amazing. That sounds like a great night. So impressive.
awesome.
Navy Pier. Beautiful.
A well-deserved night off for the innkeeper.
Yes.
Let
Yes.
treachery reign.
Yeah, so we made a list in the end, and I'm going to put the list up on the screen for you. So this is how they came out in a sort of most redeemable to least redeemable, just as an average. We just averaged out the individual scores that we gave them, and this is where they fit into the list. If you want to know how we got to that list, you'll have to listen to the podcast episode for details. Thank you, Jim and Zach, again for appearing and doing that, because it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
But we've already had something pointed out that we missed. Didn't you? Ro, you were looking at this list and you pointed something very glaring out. What was that?
Nazrin Tane is missing. Oh, spoilers.
Oh no, this is a spoiler show. It's okay.
Full spoiler.
Yeah.
I'm okay with Taim not quite cutting it, because you know what? I don't think he would have made it in the Age of Legends. Like, what did he really do that compared to our other 13?
Well,
Did he give his mother to a Murdrell? I don't think so.
No, but he's gross, and I think that gets him pretty high up there. He's like real
I
gross.
concede my point. I forgot about the grossness.
The
Some of
gross.
them were like, it was just
How could
pressure.
you?
We need 13, and we've got holes. He'll do. Put him in. He'll do.
Yeah. Yeah, why not? Okay. We're going to have some fun. I potentially have another person joining us. So 1 second while I send some things across. Oh, this is going to be fun, because I don't have the screen set up for this.
Hope the sound hangs on.
Hope the sound hangs around here. Okay. So speaking of giving mothers to Murderel, who do we think is the most evil? Does anyone want to throw out a name straight away? By the way, chat, at the end of the show, we will take the top 4 and put them into a poll where you can pick who's actually the most evil out of all of the Forsaken. But does anyone have a name they want to throw out straight away?
It's a Mirage.
Okay. Your reasons for that?
Zero emotions. She's in it to cause pain. How is that not evil? That is pure evil. no personal motivations besides just hurting people.
I'm actually with her. Semiraj, absolutely.
Yeah, good old Semi-Hag was gonna be my number one, but I'm also a little bit torn with Agenor. Because I think it takes like a sick mind that's a little bit irredeemable to
make that stuff.
Make the things that he did. And like especially the golem.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was out for everyone.
Mm-hmm. That is very true.
I would differ with that one now, because Agenor is just too much in his head. He doesn't even realize how nasty he's being, because it's the pure pursuit of science, or whatever he wants to call it. He doesn't
Delusion
care.
is not an excuse, Jim.
But it wouldn't be number one because of that. That's all.
Referencing comics and every single mad scientist arc, you're going to say that they're all not evil because they were for the science? Because this is the same argument as Semiraj, is that she's evil specifically because she's only in it because of she finds pain interesting and the causing it and creating it, and or even pleasure, because that can be painful at a certain point and past. So like that really disturbing scene with the water in the eye said I. So we have Semiraj doing that, and we just have a Gyner on the other side doing the same thing, but with creation instead of with destruction. Creation and, rolling back to our podcast, Rob, creation and destruction are neutral. They're not good or evil. So when you abuse them, they can be evil depending on the hands that they're in. They're just two different ends of that spectrum.
Yeah. Oh, in no way am I cheering for Agenor and saying,
no, I'm getting
not saying that at
biggest
all.
fanboy vibes from you right now, Jim. Pull up the number one glove.
You should see what I've been creating back in the kitchen.
Own it, Jim. Own it, Jim. It's fine. It's okay. Is this why Zach couldn't be here tonight? Because he's just manning the experiment cage and making sure nothing gets out. Yeah.
Well, see, there is no Zach anymore.
Oh.
You have an extra finger? Are you the 5-fingered man in a torture dungeon?
I love, if you'd asked me, Delusions, when did we do that episode? It was one of the live streams. Yeah, the Aja live stream. If you'd asked me, 3 months ago now, if you'd made that reference, I would not have understood, because I had not watched Princess Bride. Man. Yeah.
Oh, and a thumb. We gotcha.
I mean, from Princess
Bride.
I'm
proud of you.
Totally.
No, so Rob hadn't actually seen The Princess Bride until we, as a group who were on the Aja panel, had been like, we need to sort some characters from Princess Bride, obviously. And Rob was like, nope, never seen it. And we said, you need to do better. And then he went and did better.
Is that like a regional thing? Like, because is it just not popular on the other side of the pond? I'm confused, because that's a staple.
I don't know. I shall go and inquire with some people from this side of the pond to see if that is the case. And I shall come back to you on that one. So,
well, what's most important is Rob has seen it now, right? So,
yes.
Problem remedy.
I have. Good. I'm off the hook, although I don't think I'll ever live it down.
That was flipping inconceivable.
I know. Okay, so we're liking Semi Boo Boo, and we've got Agenor on the go. Okay, so let's debate some of the others. Now, I've seen in chat, Wolf Brother 7 has put up Lanfear. Okay, pure greed, only in it for herself, not for the dark, not for the light. Evil.
Yep.
We like that.
She's up there.
Lanny Banani? I don't know. I mean, I guess are we talking Sindane or are we talking Lanfear? Because I think there is a little bit of the difference, and we can't discount the trauma of the Finn life that the Lannister went through. I still like to think that there's a smidgen of hope for our girl, that one day she can be Mirren again, but I'm happy to be proven wrong.
I don't know. Mirren is the one who created the boars. So I don't know.
Being Mirren is what got her in this boat. Yes.
Yeah, I think redeemable versus evil are two different things. I don't know that she's redeemable, but I wouldn't say she's pure evil. She just like that crazy ex-girlfriend who needs severe help.
Yeah.
She needs, as Allie from Wheel Takes would say, she needs to join the therapy Aja.
Gray Aja in the house. Just
Well,
Although she would not believe she needs therapy. It's the rest of the world that's screwed up.
yes, obviously.
I don't think I could. I mean, we put Lanthir. Where did we have Lanthir on our list, Jim? I have to look now.
She's the most irredeemable.
Irredeemable, yes.
You
But
ranked her
But that
low.
doesn't mean she's the most evil.
yeah, we made her most irredeemable because she is Team Lanthir. As Wolf Brother has said, not for light, not for dark. She's Team Lanthir. So supremely selfish, I suppose is a good way to describe that. Does not make you supremely evil. So most
I have
evil.
to disagree. She has feelings and therefore is capable of the ability to potentially be able to sympathize with another person, whereas Samaraj and probably a Gynar are incapable of that. So I would rank them higher than her on irredeemable, 100%.
Okay,
I
but
don't think I ever saw evidence that she could sympathize with someone. She could put on the show that she
But
was sympathizing.
She has feelings though, so
She's got a lot of emotion.
the potential is there. Difference between, like a sociopath and a psychopath. Like having a lot of emotions is one end, having no emotions is the other. Samaraj and a Gynar don't have it. She does. So the potential, not saying it would happen, but the potential is there for her to, I don't know, if she got a mind wipe or something.
I mean, she did sell out the shadow in the last battle, and she's pretty much the only reason my girl got discovered, using compulsion on the great captains.
Yeah, call Morgan Demon Spider, Graendal.
Because so I think, she is in it for herself, obviously. That's the shellfish that we've been discussing. But I think if she could be persuaded to see that her goals and wants were in line with like something good, that she would, pursue that goal. So maybe not have like the altruistic motives, but still be able to campaign for the side of the light based on, her own rationale and reasoning.
That aligns with being Team Lanfear. You're right. If she saw there's a good reason to pursue something positive and it was good for her, she's in. She would be 100% in until it wasn't. And then she'd go the other way again.
Okay, so are we putting Lanfear on the potential? I feel we've got Semiraj in the list for the poll at the end, and we're putting in Agnor. Are we going to put Lanfear in the poll?
I think because this is the Rusty Heel, and it's the innkeeper's wife's birthday, and Matt would murder us if we discounted his girl. For the sake of the innkeeper, let's keep her off.
Okay, so no Lanfear in the... Okay, I was about to put her in. I thought that's where you were going. Okay, so no Lanfear. Right, let's take a pause in the discussion there because Josh has showed up and I don't have a 5-screen setup ready. So we're going to... Everyone will still hear us, but we're going to visually disappear for a moment, folks, while I bring in Josh. And I do some Taylor techno babble. We do that. So 1 second while I fix that, everybody. You can still hear us. Let me just admit, Josh. And then see how much I need to mess around with the screens.
Enter Josh.
Enter Josh. Welcome to the party, Josh. How we doing, Josh?
Oh, we got Josh in a shadow.
Hey, Josh.
We do have Josh in a shadow.
Hey.
So with me today, all the way from down the street, is the fact check Mihail. As you know him in our channel as Morshadi, and he has decided to be the conscience, the whisper on my shoulder.
That is brilliant. I love it.
He's the Iago to your Jafar.
The Luztherin to your Rand.
So I mean something.
So Josh, we're not actually
the list of women to my Rand. I'm in. I'm here for that.
Wow. So Josh, we're not actually on screen currently at the moment because I didn't have a 5-screen setup. I got more people turn up than I expected. So they're enjoying.
My bad.
No, it's fine. They're enjoying a nice little sort of visual of just the intro screen at the moment, while they can hear us though. So we're talking. So far, Josh.
Good.
Yeah. So we put some names on the list so far, Josh, for the poll at the end. And we have placed on, we have Semiraj for the possibility of most evil. We also have Agenor, and we've decided to not put Lanfear on the list. Okay.
Well, and Agenor is on the list under protest.
Okay.
I was outvoted.
Yeah,
That's all.
Jim's protest.
Apparently, I'm Team
No,
Agenor, is what I hear.
What's the criteria?
Just most evil is what we're looking for.
Okay, we're looking for most
redeemable.
evil.
Yes.
We did previously last week on the podcast talk about who was most redeemable.
Okay, now I agree.
Which is different.
Which is different, yes.
I know who the most evil Forsaken is.
Okay.
Oh, well, we should hear that then.
Yes, absolutely.
As soon as we come back, Rob, as soon as you get us looking
After
pretty.
this commercial break.
After this
Commercial break.
Today's episode.
Welcome
brought
to
you-
Black Tower, the man's piece of the Black Tower. Come here for the finest of ales and spirits. No taint here. Just good, clean family fun for the whole family. Bam. Hey, you can use that for commercials if you want.
Thank you. I that's
Splice
so
it in
kind. I love that.
intermittently.
I will splice that in now and again, and just it's going to be brilliant. All right.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Yep. And I think it's not perfect, but it's going to work enough, I think. So
Just cram it in.
I am. I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
cramming
it.
it in,
That's
cramming
what
it in.
she said.
And there they all are, folks. Here are all my guests. So please welcome Josh, who is in there as well now. Welcome Josh to the party.
I'm here.
Yes, you are actually here. Yes. So
I'm important.
you've missed all the sound issues. So
Well, to be fair, we had some on our own shows.
oh, okay.
It happens. It happens.
It does happen.
Yours were probably more entertaining, though.
I don't know. We had some sign language on the go and all sorts. So yeah,
You're pantomiming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some maiden
Yeah.
hand talk.
yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
That was there, yes.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay, so Josh, aside from Semirag and Agenor, and obviously Lanfear not being on the list, would you like to suggest someone for the list of who is most evil?
Here's who's most evil, okay? And this is now bear with me, okay? Give me a chance to defend this. But the most evil of the Forsaken was Asmodean, hands down.
Oh, wow.
Hands down.
That's a take.
So
my
Now,
boy Azzy not liking it.
now he may have been a weenie, okay?
weenie.
And he may not have been like as brave as the other Forsaken, right? Like the other, but look at Moghedien. She wasn't brave, and she was still pretty friggin' evil, right? So Asmodean, the reason why he is the most evil of the Forsaken is his motivation for turning to the Dark One.
Petty revenge.
He wants immortality, so he can do all the music ever. And a person who wants to experience that much music is twisted.
Someone needs to listen to a little bit more Queen, my friend.
Okay.
No. Don't get me wrong. I love music, but all the music.
How much music do you love, Josh?
I mean, I love a lot of music.
It's
But
Modian level?
I severely question anybody who says I love all the music, because everybody says I love all music except.
I
And
mean,
then they move on, but not Asmodean. He's like, I love it all, give it all. He's greedy.
Did he say I love
That's
it
what it
all? Or
is.
did he say I want to be the best and I will literally kill anyone who is better than me, which is most people?
Girl
Well,
got it.
See?
take that another level. Not only would he kill the ones that were better, he'd kill the ones he didn't like. All the
Yeah.
rap guys were gone. He just bam, like that,
I thought he turned so he could get revenge on everybody that said he was better, that they were better than him.
So,
that was
but that gives you the foundation there. He's a musical snob.
A musical snog.
Petty.
The
Yeah.
most evil.
Super
dog.
petty.
Petty,
The
most
most
evil.
evil.
Not,
Thank
not
you,
feeling
thank
it. Not feeling it.
Okay.
Yeah, like Asmodean is like my Oscar Wilde, and like this hurts.
Yeah.
He
Just-
is my Victorian himbo dream, and I hate this. He's
Just-
not evil. He's sassy,
Yes.
and I love him.
As a reminder,
That guy that
folks.
accidentally stumbled into the dungeon and was like, "Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I'll stay."
As
Like-
a reminder, folks, Asmodean was Jim and Zach and I's most redeemable Forsaken.
Yes.
If Forsaken could be redeemed, he came top of our list.
Oh.
So there's a reminder, folks. There.
His reason for turning was too petty.
But that's
Which
why-
means it would be
So
that
is
much
I'm sorry,
simpler to come back.
Is his
Yeah.
reason more or less petty than demon dreads and Samaels?
No,
Any male
I'm
Forsaken.
feeling that. I'm digging that.
Even Ravine.
I
Oh,
hear
man.
you. I hear you.
Okay.
But that's just it. He's like, I'm the greatest with a harp and lute, and everybody's like, I'll bet I could play the harp and lute better. And he's like, Balefire. No, you can't.
Rob, I'm sensing Josh is
I
getting
love it.
outvoted here, but man,
Wow.
it's your
Okay.
show.
Well,
Yeah, hit it. Do it. It's
Yeah,
okay.
I mean,
can take it. I'm a
okay,
big boy.
so delusions.
Melissa.
Delusions on the list or not?
Or delusion.
No,
No.
don't you dare put my
No, I'm
Asmo
I'm
on
gonna
there.
ask everybody. All right, so you're a no. Ro, is he on the list?
Oh,
No.
way.
Jim, are we putting him on the list?
Ah,
Jim.
No bard is ever that evil. Sorry.
every bard is that evil.
Okay, every
They just
bard
got you
Sarcastic
fooled.
strums.
What did you just say about Tom Maryland? Yeah.
Ooh.
every
Exactly!
bard,
Not
but
evil,
bard is
badass,
I have no
not evil.
evil campaign in D&D ever where the big bad evil guy was a bard. Get out
Yeah,
of here.
look, the guys with the
Warlock.
yeah.
'Twas I who fucked the
No.
dragon.
I was
Now I
literally.
have an idea.
I was
Now
just thinking
die
about
by
Tenacious
harp.
D.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to taint up the show too much,
It's
but
fine.
apparently
It's fine.
it's
Yes,
just
you
what I
did.
do.
The-
Yes,
by the way, the Bard of the Red Hand in chat takes offense to that statement, by the way. So just saying that, so you know.
To the one that a bard can't be the big bad? That is pretty disparaging towards
No,
bards.
the
I
all
mean,
bards.
Why
could
do you
you
think that their
imagine?
Look, I'm here
capabilities
for
are
it.
not that
Somebody
Big
good?
make
bad
a show out of
bard?
it. I want to see the proof, though. Give me the proof.
Yeah. A bard could be the big bad
Pixar, it
if
didn't
he
happen.
wanted to.
Sounds
But
like
he
a show
wouldn't.
for a 2-year-old. Who's he, the big bad bard? Fuck no.
You know, I mean, Semirog is kind of like the big bad bard in female form.
When
Does she play
sang-
music or does she play blood?
No, not necessarily with the music,
sorry,
but
was
with the seduction roles.
Was she karaokeing on the side? You know, like,
Maybe.
sorry, Dark
Maybe,
Lord, I
you
can't
don't know.
work tonight. I've got a
I like- I
karaoke
can
gig.
hear her
You know.
writing-
How does that weave work, though? Maybe she has to sing in order for the compulsory weave to work.
Oh God. Right.
No.
So I think it's a solid
Okay,
no.
okay,
Asmodean does
fine.
not go on the list.
I see the rails are over there, and we're all over here now. They have gone
All
off.
right,
I'm on
fine.
this side.
Okay. All right. Let's bring it back a little bit. In chat, someone said, "What about Bilal?" Okay. So
Mm.
Who?
Bilal.
Bilal,
you-
yeah.
Bless you.
Who?
But he's dude doesn't have enough to be
Who?
top evil.
Can we
Nah.
just skip Samael and Bilal because honestly, who?
Ugh, yeah, I feel that Bilal has like the tactical thing, like the master of puppets kind of a thing going on that he doesn't even really do that great of a job at.
He's
If we're
mostly
gonna talk
just
about the
jealous.
Forsaken with impotence problems. Let's just ride right back up to Demandred and Ishamael and Robin. Like
Which I'm
just
trying.
skip
I'm
them.
trying to work our way through some of the others. I'm trying to give everyone a fair chance here. Just because they're evil doesn't mean they don't get a fair opportunity
No.
to be in
Let's
the list.
let's
They
pull
are all-
Moraine. Balefire.
They are all
Next.
evil. Let's be real.
Oh,
they
yes.
are all evil.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
absolute. This is degrees of evilness. That's all we're talking.
Yes.
Shades of
Now,
black.
who's going to Dante's first circle and who's going to Dante's? Oh.
I love Village Mattress, by the way. Just in chat, it's like, Rob is now regretting inviting Josh on. No regrets.
Joke's on you. Rob's
No regrets.
into that.
No regrets. Josh, I invited Josh on not just for the discussion, but also because he's got some Black Tower sort of just oh God, what's the word I'm going for here?
Big dragon energy.
Yeah, big dragon energy works. Yeah, bragging is the word I'm going for. He's got some Black Tower podcast bragging to do later because they found a name. So yeah, okay. So we're not putting Bilal on the list. Are we putting Sam? Like Ro doesn't want Samuel on the list. Are we putting him on?
Not
the
at
list?
the top 4.
No. Okay. I mean, we can go top 5 if we
face.
like.
Ooh, Get out of here.
Right. Okay. So who else can we pick off the list? Raveen. Let's go Raveen. Let's carry on with one of the guys, and then we'll go.
I'd put Ravi in top 4.
I'm a
Maybe
big
number
fan.
4, but yeah.
I
Okay.
really like Raveen because he is twisted and complicated, and in my head he's played by Idris Elba, and I wants it
Nope.
and I needs
Yeah.
it.
He's played by Paul Cassidy.
I don't know who that is. Is he as good looking as
yeah.
Idris Elba?
Character reference.
Well, nobody's as good looking as Idris Elba, so
Then I'm
just-
less interested.
That's not fair.
Who's the better actor? That's what I care about.
Idris Elba. Always.
They're both good. They're
Um,
both good.
Yeah, I love Raveen. I think his use of compulsion is like it's not equal to Grendel's because no one's is, but I love how subtle
Right.
it is, and I love how cruel he is with his compulsion. What he does to Morgaze is one of the most diabolical, evil things I think we see throughout the series. We see her trauma persist. It's not something she gets over ever, nor should she. It was awful. The way she was made to treat her friends and her enemies, and even Gareth Bryn, a relationship that was never repaired, which I think is beyond devastating. And again, something that they didn't really focus on in the text, but if they do carry that plot point forward in the show, I actually think it'll be gutting to the viewer because he gets in, he's got layers like an onion, and he knows people and he knows how to cause harm and hurt. And I mean, how long did Elaine's Succession last? 1,000 books?
I think at least
All
I
of
think
my
it was
childhood?
1,273 bath scenes and
Yes.
Yeah.
about 300 cups of goat's milk. I think that's how long it was. So
You know,
That
Raveen
is
That's
the
what I'm
science,
drinking.
yes.
Goat's milk.
Um, Sorry, Jim, go.
Well, I'm completely with you. Raveen, the way he strips away Morgaze's authority, her self-respect, her friends, she's just nothing and doesn't even realize it. She's just living in La La Land and everything's wonderful, except he leaves enough that once in a while she knows something's not right, but she can't do anything. She's powerless. It's just horrible. And he's loving every minute of it. That's what shows how evil he is, as he's bringing all these other women and bootlickers around and rubbing them in her face.
Yeah,
And
for
they're
that
laughing
specific
at her in
purpose. That's
front
the
of
point
her.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's nasty. That's evil.
That's a good point. That's a real good point, because it's one thing to like politically take over a kingdom. It's one thing to be like, I'm gonna buddy up with the queen, make the queen mine, and then just control the queen's decisions. But he has to rub salt in the wound by saying, hey, you know those people you hate? Why don't you go serve them some drinks? She's like, yes, my love, anything. And he's like, yeah. And they're having fun with it. They're
all in on the joke.
Sick,
It's horrible.
sick man.
The epitome of a toxic relationship in fantasy, shown in a fantasy story. Yes, he's very casually violent.
Yeah,
Do you-
and like
do you know what I
sexually
love
violent,
about-
physically violent,
Yeah.
and like everything.
Yep, and it's all casual for him. Like it's not a big
Doesn't
deal.
think
There's
anything of
no. Yep, exactly.
The
And do you
lack
know
of
what I love most
emotional
about-
attachment is
Yeah.
horrifying.
Mhm.
And you know what I love most that you point out about that is that in too many stories, it's illustrated as almost like a questionable thing. Like, oh, do we really hate him, or is he just,
Morally gray
is he
instead
just
of
doing
villain.
the best that he can, and he's got other problems? No, Robin, like, he has no other problems. He's just an evil bastard.
Yeah.
And I love how Robert Jordan like portrays this toxic relationship as all evil.
So
There's no redemption there. It's evil. He's bad.
So Rob, we're not having any challenges on this one.
I don't
He's
know.
in.
I've already
He's
put
in.
that's. I mean, for
Robin's
anyone who's
there.
looking at me, that was why I was suddenly looking this way, because I'm setting up the poll to my left here, and Ravine is number 3 on the list already. So, I mean, we're going for a top 4 here. We might have to stretch out to a top 5, I feel, at this stage, or we might have to do some kind of like bracket system at the end. But you know, we've gone through 8 now. Am I right here? So, let's move over to Mogadine. Balthamar. We cut Balthamar. No. All right, let's talk about Balthamar then. All right. We haven't cut Balthamar. It was Belar. Okay, so Balthi. Are we adding in Balthi to the list? I mean, my instant thought process is probably not.
Combining that with like Halima character, like is it?
I think we
Who he
should.
comes
Yeah,
back out.
I think complete actions for both. Yeah.
Such a
Pretty up there for me.
skeevy character. But, you know, we want to keep in mind with Balthamel that it's not just who he is as the Forsaken or the Chosen, whichever way you want to talk about him. It's who he was before too.
The inclusive.
And he loved violence. He had to be controlled by other Aes Sedai because he already wanted to be out of control. I mean, there's a built-in evil into this guy before he turned to the dark, and it's just all in once he can do what he wants.
I think with Balthi, where I struggle is I don't really see, I mean, and I don't, like, let me be very clear about this. I'm not downplaying sexual violence by any stretch. But that is the only thing we really get out of Balthamel. He comes, you know, out of the eye. He's like Fireface. You know, power does things to Nynaeve. Terrible. Then he gets killed by a tree. Wonderful.
Yes.
And then he comes back, and you know, he comes back as Halima.
Bitch, I'm back.
And there's the cat. He comes back as Halima, and I just find Halima so ineffective and terrible, and all we really see from, we're not even going to go down the trans discussion with Erengar.
Sure.
We're not having it. It's fucking garbage.
Mhm.
We're not talking about it. Yeah. But all we get from Erengar and Halima is just like this gross excess of sexual violence. And like, where is your effectiveness? You do dick all. You give Egwene headaches sometimes. Like, I hear what you're saying, Jim, especially about the background and the violence that there is. But I think throughout the story, I'm just left so disappointed by Erengar's entire arc and purpose. And like, maybe a lot of that is how I feel a lot of people conflate it with trans representation, which is disgusting and horrid. So I don't know where I fall, but I really don't think that Balthi is super evil to me.
See, and I think you make a case for why I would say he is, in that the sexual violence, that's what his thing is, and it drives him. It's all in. He doesn't care how effective he is. He doesn't care what else he does. He's single-minded as what he likes to do, and it's disturbing. That's evil to the core.
That brings up a good point, because this isn't about efficacy. This is about evil. And at best, Balthamel is a loose cannon. Again, that nobody wants to really deal with.
Nobody wants him on the team.
Is actually, I mean, but yeah.
Or chaotic evil.
That's it. If you're rejected by other evil people, are you more evil or less evil?
Or ineffective evil.
Yeah, I think maybe I'm also like, I just think that evil, like to be truly evil is like to be truly good. I think you have to be effective. To me, like that's how I see the Chosen, is like most evil is also being able to use that evil for nefarious purposes and like advance Team Shadow. So maybe I'm like, maybe I'm in the minority on that, but that's how I see it. And that's, I think, why I struggle with, like, I think Halima's just a shitty person.
And there is a difference between being a shitty person and being an evil person. So I'm sorry, Melissa, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go.
You're fine. Putting aside the what was going on with publishing and books and stuff like that, and just staying within world, I feel like Halima Balthamel's storyline is suffers the same thing that like Bilal and Samael's does, which is that whatever plot, if there was any for him that he had, got cut off by the rest of the world, and time constraints and the size of the story prevented us from getting any more depth into that. But I have to agree that I think that for him, there might not have actually been a plan. He just thrives on the evil chaos. Like, he wants to hurt people, and he's a sexual predator, and that's what he's going to do, is go out and do that. And he gets off on the more and more powerful people that he can dominate like that. So that's what he goes and tries to do. And it's gross. And not all characters, I think, have to be effective in the storyline as a whole to be an important character to see, to teach a lesson. This is a bad person. These behaviors are bad things. And his character shows that. This is what a sexual predator looks like. And this is how they behave. And that's what his character's purpose serves in the storyline. And I think that's really freaking evil.
And maybe this is part of what's driving my feel about it. You know, all evil is evil. All bad is bad. But sexual predators, that sexual nature, it rises in the revulsion towards it. You know, we sure, when we hear in real life of such things, we have such a stronger reaction than to someone who went and robbed somebody, or even a murder. It's like, no, but this is horrible. And that's why these sorts of people often die in prison, because they get shanked by someone in the cell with them, you know, ish. So that's maybe where I'm feeling evil on this one.
Because it's not
talk with Jim.
There's compulsion, which is a mind, right? And then there's like bodily harm, and then sexual violence is a combination. It both attacks the mind and the body.
That's
There's
true.
no escape from it. So in a way, yeah, it is. There's no way to compare pains, but that's pretty dark. That's about as dark as you can go. To me.
And I think, and just to that, like, again, not to downplay sexual violence, but I think it's also with everyone else, there is that element of sexual violence in addition to, right? We just, like the only thing we see with Balthamel is the sexual violence. We don't see all of the other evil shit. So to me, like, we're looking at Semirog and what she did with the warder. I can't remember the warder's name. Cabrina Makenda's.
It was horrible.
Whatever.
Horrible.
How she tortured him to death with pain and like through orgasm. Like, what in the fuck? Sexual violence.
That is a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Like Ravine, we've already talked about. Who else is up there in our list?
We have Semirog, Agenor, Ravine on the list so far.
And Agenor, who was like clearly, I mean, various different kinds of sexual violence, including with animals and humans. So I think that's kind of where, like, with Balthamel, it's his only character trait that we see. And he's decrepit and he's horrible and it's awful, but does he amount to the same level of evil if he doesn't have the cunning and the intrigue to kind of substantiate his perversiveness? Is that a word? What do I want to call him? A pervert.
We can make it a word. It may be a word.
Pervy-dervy ways.
Perverse.
Rob, did you have any idea this was going to be such
perversion?
a
I didn't think this would be such a hard. But what I'm working on currently is a poll we're going to do a poll to see if Balthamel makes the list or not. So one moment while I work on that.
There you go. In the comments.
In the comments. Well, yeah, I'm just going to put it in.
Down.
Yeah. If we're not going to end up with Balthamel, that means somebody else is getting in. And then we've got to talk about, and I'm so sorry, Delusions, we got to talk about Graendal.
No, my girl's not getting in.
Oh, man. She's
She's an angel. She's the most redeemable.
Okay, so damn it! I've put the wrong one in there. Wrong poll, Rob. Wrong.
Can we not
poll.
talk about Ishi?
Are we not going to talk about?
Yeah, we're absolutely talking about like King of.
We can talk about Ashamael, but he's not evil enough.
He's too tired.
Are we going to just? Are we just going to ignore the newest Forsaken?
I know that was brought up. That was brought up before you got in, Josh, but we haven't talked at length.
We haven't talked about the teacher, the one who goes after kids.
Masana, I saw some love from Masana in chat.
Okay, so hopefully there should be a poll starting in the chat shortly. If it's a meme one, ignore that because I've hit the wrong button initially. This is an old one I had set up that I just hit the wrong button for.
I hope that my boy Taim gets some more representation here, because
Well, why don't we have a chat whilst we see if the poll works in chat? Why don't we have a chat about Taim? Like, does Taim make the list? Josh, I feel like you should go first here.
I'm gonna say absolutely yes, for one reason: forcing people to turn to the shadow,
Graendal was there.
torturing them to the point where their will is taken from them, destroying and or breaking a piece of their soul so irreversibly that they are forced into servitude of the shadow. And the man did this numerous times happily.
Yeah.
But I would say so did every other chosen during the War of Shadow and the War of Power.
Good for them.
And like Graendal was also there with Taim. She was the one running the show.
I gotta say, Master of the Deck in the chat is with me on Grendal's going down. Just saying, I saw it there.
And here's the thing. You just kind of nailed the last nail in that coffin for Graendal, because she's, if I'm not mistaken, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't she the one who devised the whole methodology for turning people to the shadow?
I thought they used the Madral circles.
13 Murdral, 13 channelers.
Yeah.
But isn't she the one who worked that out? Or am I wrong?
I don't know who did it. I imagine Agenor was also involved in it.
I mean, he
would have to be.
Well,
he's already on the list.
Well, sort of. He made the Trollocs, and whoops, here comes a Myrtle. No.
Hey, look what I made. What does it do? Kill. How does it do it? I don't know.
I just hate Tame because he broke my poor BT boys, and there's no forgiveness in me for that.
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah,
He didn't break
we
it.
agree.
The
He's
whole
ready.
entire Oshaman kill
We got a
thing
black eye and a bloody nose, but we're good.
really drives me up a wall, because these poor boys were made into weapons and were convinced that they weren't human anymore, that they were nothing more than, and that scale of manipulation, even for the ones that he didn't get to turn, but he broke them. He broke them down so hard that they didn't think that they were worth anything more than what they could kill. And that is so disturbing to me on so many levels, that he's so up there. When I imagine him, he's like the Darkling from Shadow and Bone, and Snape in personified in physical appearance.
I love that.
But
That
he's
Snape was really good.
He's
bad
biggest-
analogy.
No, he wasn't.
Sometimes,
But
Snape
is a
people are,
bully. There's no
different.
forgiving that. I give him excuses. This is not what the conversation's about. It's more physical appearance that I'm referencing here. Is the kind of gritty look to him. You know what I'm saying? Dark and he just I think of him. I'm like skis, such skis vibes.
The gross factor comes in again.
But
We're definitely in agreement.
Attractive enough to make it worse. That's what makes it bad, is that he's actually still kind of attractive.
Aim
but
is
you're
evil.
really grossed out by him. So
he's going to be a Loki style character where people are like, oh dang, you good looking, and he's gonna be like, yeah, but I'm evil though, and they're gonna be like, I'm sorry, what?
Are you just morally gray? And
Loki's not as evil as
he's good looking.
Freaking evil. Being hot doesn't
in that
qualify
sense.
how bad you are. Just saying.
Yeah. I would be great if we have Taim as number 5 in the poll. If you'll do that for us, Rob. I don't want to see him in the top 4.
I think he deserves to be higher.
Let the people speak. But
I can, if I could possibly ever get the polls to work. They're not working.
like the reason I struggle with Taim and like putting him up there is like everyone else did it. Like whatever he's done, someone else has done it better. Like corrupting.
Everything.
Let's give it to Masana. And like, yes, did he take over the Black Tower? Yes. Is some of that Rand's fault? Yes. Sorry, Master of the Deck.
Toying with Rand the whole
100% Rand's fault, but sure. I don't care if I make enemies. Sorry.
And you know, like, did he corrupt a lot of people? Yep. Did he turn a lot of people to the shadow? You betcha. By force, absolutely. But again, none of this is new or unique. It doesn't put him like if that's his one defining moment as to why he should be raised chosen. I think, in the words of my girl, he is a second-rate chosen, just like Masana.
There you go. Hey, he got his huzzah by making it into the list of chosen. He doesn't need to be the top 4 evil. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. But Graendal does.
Mm-hmm.
I know she does, obviously. Obviously.
But you are obligated to fight for her. I gotcha.
I just think like her intentions, I always come back to that because I do like she just loves to have a laugh and to make fun of people. And like she's so clever that
that's not evil.
Like,
but let's talk about what we said about Ravine and how what he did to Morghese and stripping all dignity, toying with her, Graendal's got that on steroids. I mean, she got all her pretties, all her toys, all from all over, the prettiest ones, and they have nothing left. Ugh.
I don't think she does it better. In fact, it's described in the book that her version of compulsion is like a sledgehammer. She has
no that's not her version of compulsion.
Better.
That's what Demon Dread. That's what they think is her level of compulsion. Everyone forgets that her actual compulsion is so subtle you don't even know. Enter the last battle. Enter what she did with the Great Captain. She is a subtle. She is
not helping your case.
Oh no, like she's evil. But like everyone forgets that because she can wield, like our first introduction to her is Fires of Heaven in the prologue. We get, I believe it's Ravine's perspective. It's his POV because he's an Andor. And that's where everyone's entering from. And Ravine underestimates Graendal absolutely. They talk about her ability to wield compulsion like a hammer, and that's all you ever see. But that is the front that she puts out to the world. That is deliberate. She wants people to underestimate her, and she does it continuously because what she can actually do, her real talent, is being able to understand people's motivations and how to actually get them to do what she wants. And she can do it by compulsion or without compulsion, as we see her use other people even without laying a weave on them. She is such a deft manipulator of people, and she knows exactly what to do. She is the most talented healer of the mind. She knows minds better than probably anyone. I think that underestimating her by saying that all she does is like her style of compulsion is falling into the same trap that a lot of the other Forsaken did. Demon Dread, Ravine, Semirog, Masana, everyone who underestimated her.
Well, and let's ask Asmodean what he thinks of Graendal. Oh, we can't.
What?
What about Erengar?
If you take a look at what she came from, right? So she was like her ability to mess with the mind comes from the fact that she was essentially an Age of Legends therapist. This is a woman who spent a lifetime living in like a nun, essentially, giving away all of her
Mother Teresa
profession and living, and trying to live like the simple life and then completely flip-flopping, which makes sense. You deny yourself for so long, then you're gonna break out. But man, what a break, girl. Like, you're gonna go from being, as you said, Mother Teresa to like such an incredibly careless disregard for other people's well-being, that even if she is capable of such incredible precision manipulation of people's mind, she finds it fun to break people and keep them as slaves. And that is so
Because they
So
couldn't
let me
measure up
play-
to her standard. They fell well short of the pole that she was holding up. They could not, like, they could walk under her limbo stick. They could not jump to the heights that she was asking. She lived this life of abstentia because she thought that's how people should live. And she turned to all of this excess, in part satirically, and to make a comment on society, because people failed her. Repeatedly, time and again. She got to know people so intimately and realized humanity sucks. And they will never, ever, ever be as good as they can be.
So let me play Graendal's advocate for a second here. She was a nun. She was Mother Teresa. Oh,
She was a Puritan, is what she really was.
Give to everyone. She was very zealous in this practice of minimalism and
asceticism,
and would judge you.
Yeah,
Would judge you if you didn't measure up.
She wasn't great beforehand.
Breaks. Something breaks, and she's like, my whole life has been a lie. And she does this huge flip. She goes to the shadow. She's like, I'm showing off the girls. I'm having a great time.
She did that before she went to the shadow. She lived 10 years living her excess life before going bad.
So is she then evil, or is she an Amish person who goes out into the world to see the world and then decides, and then decides the world is really cool, I don't want to go back?
The worst rum springer in history.
Or the best.
Exactly. Is she evil, or did she? And I gotta say,
she's still evil.
I'm starting to see the point of view here. Is she evil, or did she just kind of go, "Ooh, this is actually really fun"?
Isn't that evil?
I don't want to go back.
I'm having fun. She's like the best
Not
troll
necessarily.
that has ever existed. She's having fun trolling
you go
people.
volunteer to have your mind broken, good sir.
Okay, so where are we?
Yeah, like the mind rape. Obviously, she's evil.
So
she's a horrible person.
Let me, because I've been playing with technical stuff here. I don't have a tailor. Taylor, if you know someone in the UK, please let me know, because I could definitely use a tailor. But where did we fall
UK
on?
Taylor.
Yeah, UK Taylor. I'm trying to think of the British version of Taylor now, in terms of name. Anyway, where did we fall on? Did Balthamar make the list? What was that? Yes, no. Where did we fall on that? Because I couldn't get it.
I think Balthy was a no.
Balthy was a no. Okay, Taim
just gets eked out.
Just eked out.
Yes, for me.
No,
Taim?
not Taim.
No.
I thought Taim should be out.
He's a
there.
poser.
Okay, and who do we?
So does that give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Thumbs up or thumbs down for Taim?
For Taim?
Rob,
I'm showing.
Provide the tiebreaker,
Balls
buddy.
on the pub keeper.
The pub keeper says Taim does not make the list. Sorry.
The price
Melissa,
is wrong,
could you help me get
Taim.
this knife out of my back.
The dangerous
Okay.
pub here.
And Grendel, is Grendel making the list?
Hey, Josh, Rob loves Asmodean, by the way, so you were doomed.
I know. I know. We're even now.
So which one did you say,
And I
Rob?
love Rob.
I love you too, buddy.
Which one are we voting?
Grendel. Is Grendel making the list? Yes or no?
He's up.
All right,
She's there.
we've got okay.
Unanimous.
Lovely.
Yeah, she pretty bad.
Right, so where are we on the
nasty.
list? Okay, so we've talked about Asmodean. Okay, Mogadine. Does Mogadine make the list?
I think
gonna say
Mogadine is
no.
like, she is my Evanescence dream from like 13-year-old, like the goth makeup. I
Really
think
not
she's so
emo
funny.
kid.
Mogedian shops
like-
at Hot Topic.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
This is movie.
Okay, so I'm sensing Moggy does
I
not
gotta
make the
go.
list then,
No, she doesn't.
She's like,
We like her,
I'm
but
like-
not that evil.
I love
I
my girl
love her.
Moggy.
She's so funny.
she cracks me up.
Mogedian.
Yep.
I enjoyed
Mogadine.
her part spectacularly.
Okay.
Mogadine.
Masana.
She's scum, but not in the top 4.
I'm open to arguments, but again, she's second rate to me.
Yeah.
The black Aja was set up by Fishy Ishi. She came in, she capitalized
I'm
on
so
it,
glad
she
I
hid in
wasn't
the
drinking when you said
shadows.
that.
I feel like the stories did her dirt, in my opinion.
I would agree
we
with
didn't
that.
see her and Semiraj both. They both got done dirty because we did not see or get enough information on them. I feel like if we had seen them more, seen more of their plots, if we had one day been able to get a spin-off series and gotten Age of Legends stories,
See,
I would've
15
loved-
books was not enough.
Well, I want Age of Legends stories, and I want the entire Archer Hawkwing storyline right now, man. But I,
There needs to be a Black Tower storyline as well.
And we needed the
Same.
tales of Matt
Can we,
and
can we
Juwan.
get a can we get a Malcare storyline?
Needed it.
Come on, you know.
Yes.
but
Yes.
Whatever you want, apparently. You got it.
Yeah, there we
If
go.
We want it all.
I think if
Give
Masana
it to
had
us
actually
all.
gotten the story that she deserved in the books, she would have come, you would have seen how evil she is. This is a woman whose entire purpose in life was brainwashing children. She was the person who developed the Nazi youth. Like, this is irredeemably evil, having children rat on their parents to the shadow so that they're killed and tortured in whichever order. Like, that's messed up, but that's all we know. We didn't get any more,
And
but that's
she
enough
did
for me to
that.
think she's pretty bad.
She did that because she couldn't do the bigger stuff. I mean, that was it. She was second rate. So she did what she could, and it was nasty, and it was effective, but it wasn't the bigger things. So that's
But
why
I
it's not
think-
top 4.
No, I wouldn't
That's
put her in
kind of
top four,
a
but
theme
she's
that we
pretty bad.
learn, though. That's kind of a theme that we learn, though. Is time and time again, people are underestimated because they can channel X, but not X times 10, and so therefore their value is X and not X times 10.
That's the whole white
Mogedion
cow
does a
age.
really. I'm not saying she deserves to be on the list, but I am saying her ability to channel does not determine her capacity for evil, and we should
No.
not fall into the same traps.
Well, and
And I
she
don't
did
think- I don't
end
think
up,
that's
you know,
why we
she,
are, like, it's
mind,
not her
she went to the
strength.
black. She turned in the Age of Legends because she was undervalued, underestimated by people. She was shunted into teaching. I'm an educator.
She couldn't
I'm
even get a
offended by
third
that, but
name.
And they
What
have
a
to do it
loser.
again
pushed off
in the
to
third
it.
age.
Yeah, so she turned, you know, but evilness is not defined by the power of you know how
Yeah.
great you are in the power.
Yeah.
It's what do you do, and she still
mean,
never did
never
as
know.
much as others.
You know, like, speaking of all of the like arcs we wish we could have seen, I think if we had seen like the trio, like Demon Dread, Semirog, and Masana, I
Mhm.
would love to have been like a fly on the wall of some of their meetings, because I bet they got up to some crazy evil shit together.
They were the most
And they were,
effective,
like,
probably.
They were
Yeah.
like an unbreakable, like, even, you know, waking up late. Oh my gosh, what book is it? I think it might be Knife of Dreams, or it could be Gathering Storm, but it's when Semirog is missing and Demon Dread and Masana are beside themselves. And
Yeah.
I love that moment, that scene that we actually see them care, because the three of them genuinely care about each other. And it's so interesting to me. And maybe, as Ro, you were saying, Masana was done dirty by the story. Like, that is,
All three
I'm
of them
open
were
to,
done dirty by the
I'm
story.
open, I'm open to headcanon about this, because I just think it's such an undeveloped and unexplored
Yeah.
territory. We never really get anyone's perspective of those three.
And
We get like a
considering-
couple.
And considering that of all of the Forsaken, 3 that actually like to work together consistently, I mean, in my opinion, all 3 of their storylines were way slept on. Like, Demandrid's is like, he like pops in at the end and you're like, surprise!
Lose Theron!
And then
Surprise, motherfucker!
but that was it. Like, Pop Goes the Weasel and then popped on the head. Like, it's not really that big of a deal. And Semiraj is not a big deal. Masana's not a big deal, but that trio right there is a really interesting storyline, because consistently the rest of the Forsaken cannot work together, hate each other with a passion.
That's true.
These
I mean, if we-
3 tag
Yeah.
team,
If we had 12 or 13 work together, like those 3,
world ending.
totally different story. Game over.
That-
We were broken. Everything's
What's that
and
like?
I say 12 because Ishii never
Right,
would have
the wheel.
with them. He was on his own thing all along.
Yeah, was it like that would be like a 2-book story basically, wouldn't it? So
So boring. We wouldn't want that.
And directed by Robert Wolf.
yeah. Okay, so Masano is not making the list. Let's have a look through.
We haven't talked about Demandred.
Basically, we've got Ishii and Demon Dread left. That looks like the only two we haven't spoken about yet. So we have four names.
I want to hit Demandred first.
We have 4 names on our list so far. Just letting you know that, everybody.
So we'd be bumping someone if
we
put
might
them.
we might, yeah, if we put these 2 in, we'd have to bump at least one person. I'm okay for top 5.
I love
So-
Lead Issue
I wanna
last,
hit-
so Madrid.
I want to hit Demandred first because I feel like right there, he's not the most evil.
Yep.
He is the most like he's a dick. He's a
hilarious.
frat boy,
It's funny.
and he's like in this like ridiculous like phallic measuring contest with Luz Theron. That's it.
Robin at it. Like,
Yeah.
His entire
He's,
presence during
he's Samael 2.0.
in the tiers of the men who I find mostly uninteresting in their motivations for turning to the dark side, because all of them are just kind of like, but I wasn't as good as Luz Theron.
Right though. Right.
Manfred is super disappointing because he's not at the bottom of that list. He just fell right short of the top of it. Like, you just couldn't get that last inch on the mile, could you, bud? You fell just short of the finish line. How disappointing. Like, oh.
And he was like, stupid silver medal.
I'm sorry, Chad is just. He's a Chad. That's what Chad is just. Matt
Yes!
Stacker. He's a
That's
Chad.
Brilliant. Brilliant. description.
You know,
Yeah.
Rob,
Chad
something
Mondred?
something that you and
That's
Zach and I
here.
talked about last in that episode about The Forsaken, plays in light here. Demandred could have been really cool if Luz Theron never existed.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely,
He
yeah.
would have been awesome.
field to only
His
Robin.
problem is he's not Luz Theron. So, that's his biggest problem. That doesn't make him super, super evil. That makes him a
No.
punk, and a disappointment, that's all.
That makes him the annoying little brother.
Yeah, okay.
Well, they're like me
I
and
want to
Shara.
be just like Big Brother. And when Big Brother doesn't acknowledge me,
Right.
I'm going to be mad.
He was Luz Theron to the Sharans.
with
That's
me.
exactly it. You
Yeah.
know? They like
He- and,
him.
like,
They like me. They
River-
really like me.
I
Yeah.
think River of Souls really highlights just that he's not evil. Like,
Yeah.
Demon Dread just wants to be loved. I need somebody.
I mean,
He's
don't
a-
He
get
wants
that.
to be. He
Somebody.
wants to be the hero. He does. He wants to be the good guy. He wants
Yes.
everyone looking up to
He
him
wants to be
and loving him.
adored.
Wants that. We all
He
want
wants
that.
to be
He's
Ah.
just
He
willing
wants
do
to be
anything vetted
the
instead of
very
having
best.
rules.
So it
Like
no
does.
one ever was.
He's the
Uh,
morally gray.
yeah. I did like what you were doing there, by the way, Josh. But I just
It was subtle.
it was very subtle. Yeah, no, I agree.
Demandred, no.
Does not make the list yet. Okay, so Ishii is our last contender for the list, and I'm happy putting Ishii on and doing a top 5 instead of 4. There are 13 after all we've gone through with this. So I'm getting a no and a yes straight away from the group. It looks
I'll
like
give you my no. He's
Go for it.
not evil.
he's not evil.
He,
Okay.
he is without hope. He's nihilistic. He's not
He's a
evil.
nihilist.
He is a
Yeah.
nihilist, yes.
Really tired old man who just wants it to be over. That is
Bring it
literally
all.
the entire
Burn it
character.
all.
Like, right at the beginning, he's like, "We have done this, and we keep doing this, and it needs to be done. I'm so
1,000 times
tired.
1,000.
Like,
Get
show me
off
the,
my
show me the
lawn.
self-destruct button that blows us
I'm
all up.
done.
I'll push it. I'll
Yeah.
push it.
win again, Luz
He's not evil. He just wants it to be over, and for some reason, that doesn't mean just him.
Yeah, he's not evil. He's just tired.
Yeah. I
Tired
mean,
of this
he's
Grumpy old
yeah,
man.
he's a cranky
You
old
guys
man.
say
Yeah.
what you want,
Grumpy
but
old
I believe that his ability to play the long con, his
Yeah,
ability to play the long game, tired and old and just kill me, does not lay plans 1,000 years in the making,
Not true.
3,000 years in the making.
He had to kill
This man
himself.
was calculated. this man was patient and was willing to die, yes, but was still willing to perform the evil deeds at his master's will after he was resurrected again and again and again. So when he died at Falma and came back, he was still doing his master's bidding. That doesn't speak of tired, that speaks driven to me.
Well, but driven by who? And I'll give you a really good comparison if you're familiar with comic books. Vandal Savage, a man that has lived for freaking eternity. And yes, there is a time that he is super invested in his plots and machinations and what he's up to. But then it reaches a point where he's grown beyond civilization at this point. He has aged, he has seen too much, he is tired, he is done, he wants it to be over. That is Ishamael. Yes, he is calculated, and yes, he has plans to freaking end it. He's done, and he does not want to do this again. The wheel needs to break for him because he cannot go through this again. He's so tired. So yeah, he's a grumpy old man.
That goes to his nihilism.
Or a Dorian Gray, as it were.
Nothing matters. People's lives don't matter. Nothing matters because it just has to end. All of it. Right. So when he comes back and he's got another chance, he's back at trying to make it end again. And he's not working the Dark One's game. He's doing what he can to accomplish what he wants. I mean, we see him actually do some things that get in the way of what some of the other Chosen would prefer to see happen, which are probably more in line with what the Dark One wants, because he just wants to burn the whole world down.
How many times do you watch people fade and turn to ash and do it all over again before you just can't watch it anymore? And for some reason, you're trapped.
Stopping that forever, ending all of that innocence in a fiery and violent death, does that not qualify as evil?
I'm going to dive in now.
Have you ever been really tired? Sorry.
Go ahead, Rob. You got to go first. Jump in, man.
It's my show. I could just mute you all if I wanted. So, I'm not going to do that. So, no. So, Ishii doesn't dive in on the day-to-day evil. He's not there manipulating cities, torturing people, like sending people to their death, sending people to Murdrell. Even when they go and attack Rand while he's cleansing the taints, he's like, off you go, team, and watches. You know? Yeah. He doesn't get involved until the absolute end, which is the moment when he wants to stop the dragon.
Here's my chance.
And then end everything. He's like, I'm stood back. At the beginning, all of his goals is to convert the dragon to the shadow, to break the dragon, to end it all. That is it. As soon as that stops happening, and he comes back as Moradin especially, he's just like, okay, right, you go do this, you go do that, with the sole goal of getting the dragon to the boar, to lose, to end it all. And even when there's an opportunity, the last battle itself, to go fight, no, Demon Dread, you can do your poof, here I am moment sort of thing. Everyone else can go and do their things, and it's just like, no, I'm actually going to wait for the one thing that will actually end it all, and then I'll get involved.
There's a real argument to be made that the whole world sucks. There's plenty of issues. There's evil. There's crud. Yeah, so there's innocent people, but they're suffering too, and he could be telling himself with great conviction the best thing for everyone is to end it all.
Yeah.
So that's not
buying
evil.
into Grendal's theory that people suck.
Well, and it also harkens back to my original, that creation and destruction are neutral parties. And you've got Ishamael standing in the middle of that going, I'm leaning towards destruction because all I've seen is creation and none of it's good. So let's just...
I've woken up this morning and I have chosen violence.
Yes, precisely. But he woke up on a specific morning choosing violence. All the other ones he slept in.
Okay, so Josh, what does your fact checker say? What does Moshadi say to this? Let's get a last
fact checker Mihail. What do you say about
yes.
Ishamael? Is he evil? Does he deserve to be on the list? Yes or no?
He's the Dark One's bitch, and he doesn't realize that the Dark One's actually on the Dragon and the Creator's side.
I thought that was shit.
So he's a patsy.
He's a patsy. Oh, okay.
the fact checker Mihail claims that Ishamael is a patsy, not evil.
See, there you go.
There we go. So not on the list then. Okay.
I think it's really
I'm
important.
sticking by my guns. I think he's evil.
That's fine, buddy. That's fine. Okay, so our top 4. We've actually gotten 4 out of this. So we have Semi Boo Boo, Agenor, Ravine, and Graendal. Now, I can't get the Streamlabs bot to work to send a poll in, folks.
You should just put it on Twitter. Let the world vote.
Or on Twitter, that works.
I could put it out on Twitter, yes. I mean, I've got Nightbot on the thing as well, but you'll have to leave the stream to go vote and then come back. So I never like to use Nightbot like that. But yeah, I'll do this as a Twitter poll. I'll put that out for a couple of days. I'll do that after the stream. Any final words before we move on to Josh's bragging moments?
Yes, I think the Master of the Decks comment needs to be focused on before we move completely on.
Which comments? Go for it.
Issue's existential need for world destruction is pretty pathetic, to be honest. The man needs therapy and an orgasm. Truer words were never said.
To be fair, don't we all need therapy and an orgasm?
Oh yeah, there we go. That solves the world problems. You know, therapy. This is Graendal's obviously. You know, not so much the therapy side of things, but perhaps the orgasm side of things. I don't know. Not you specifically, the character, by the way.
I mean, why not both?
Why not both? Awesome.
It can be 2 things.
We also have the chat noting on how hot Asmodean is, because a man who can do that with his fingers. The chat's going all sorts of places.
Finger dexterity is a thing.
I love it. Okay, so let me see if I can bring it up here because it's right. So earlier today we did get a little. I'm not going to call it news, but we got a little bit of action from the Tweeter of Chaos. Has everybody seen this? I know, Ro, you're not really a Twitterer.
Out of the loop and everything.
Yeah,
sorry.
It was so good.
The Wheel of Time account has been very quiet recently, ever since the He Who Tweets of the Dawn left and they had someone new come in. We think they're reading the books before they actually tweet anything. So we get like maybe a tweet a fortnight at most sort of situation, is it, guys? It's kind of what it's like. But obviously today's Wednesday. Not for me anymore, but you know it was, and so we didn't get anything. And Talker Romrio posted a tweet out there, was like, you know, it's Wednesday, are we going to get anything? Feeling sad, sort of thing. They were not, and they replied, "Don't be sad." Let me pop it up on the screen here. Don't be sad, just and then capitalized, little more patience. We'll never forget the dragon spawn, and then brackets, and we'll never call them wheelies. So
Which
Josh,
was great. That was great.
Burn the wheelies.
Burn the wheelies. So Josh, why don't you explain the whole Dragon Spawn and wheelies thing and why you love this so much, and then why you retweeted it with a thank you. There's always room for you at the Black Tower.
Guys, so a couple of years ago, and if you go back,
this was only last year because I voted in it. This was last March. Last April, actually. Sorry, April to May.
My goodness!
Because
so
I
just
voted
over
in it
a year ago.
Yeah.
The issue was that the What on Prime Twitter account, before they become at Wheel of Time, had posted a tweet about, "Hey everybody, we're gonna be doing all this fun stuff. Thanks for tuning in, wheelies." And I don't remember the verbiage of the real tweet, but that was it essentially. They were trying to hype us up, and it was a valiant effort. And if you go back on our Twitter, we did actually thank the person who was running that Twitter account because they did a phenomenal job. And I do not wish to detract from that in any way. But they threw out the term wheelies as sort of the fandom name. And Daniel on the podcast thinks that they pulled it from somewhere.
We know who.
We know
who coined it. His name will not be spoken, but we know.
Because we leave in the
I was like, okay, cool. You know, we pulled it from somewhere, we got it from somewhere. Nobody liked it. Like the second it was out there, it was like, oh, please don't call us that ever again. And so our thought at the Black Tower podcast was, okay, you know what? We've gone on Facebook, we've gone on Twitter, we've gone on Instagram, we've gone on blah, blah, and there's 100 different fandom names for the Wheel of Time fandom. And we thought, you know what would be cool is if we spent some time compiling all these names, put it into a bracket form, and then having everybody vote on it. Now, we did recognize the fact that, you know, we were only on Twitter. Sorry, guys. We tried to get the other platforms involved, but there were a lot of people that were like, no, I'm not going on Twitter. You know, we have to go somewhere. And at the time, our biggest involvement, our biggest following was on Twitter. So we thought that would get the largest exposure. And we even, we got other people, other platforms, other content creators to host different rounds of the voting. We had, oh gosh, I can't remember how many submissions. We had so many submissions.
You had just shy of 100 submissions.
Yeah, it was very, very difficult to
Including
create a
one of mine.
bracket. But I know. Mine didn't win either, okay? We we had put together all these submissions. We said, okay, we're going to put together all these polls and everybody's going to vote on them. And whatever wins at the end, that's going to be the fandom name. Because, and we didn't want to take away anybody's a Wheel of Time identity, as it were. But as people started coming to the fandom, you know, as the TV show comes out, we wanted one all-encompassing sort of hashtag or fandom name that someone could say, hey, I want to look up blah, 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 and find this fandom so that I could be a part of this fandom. Mm-hmm. And then once they get involved, they can be, you know, Blue Aja or Ashaman or, you know, whatever they wanted to splinter off into. And the fun part was as we went through, we got up to the very last end, and it was Dragonsworn was the winner. We are all Dragonsworn. And so since then, like, we've really kind of pushed it. We've really been hard. And I said numerous times to my co-hosts, you know, we'll know if we're legit. And I'm probably telling on myself right now, but we'll know if we're legit if we ever get the official Wheel of Time account to acknowledge us as Dragonsworn. Mm-hmm. Today that happened, and I can confirm that I have been running around my home squealing, not screaming, not cheering, not, you know, guffawing with great
Squeal for us,
squealing.
Josh. Squeal for us.
Squealing. I was like, I saw it. I was like, ah! Ah! And no, like literal actual reaction. And I'm running around the house, and everybody in my house is like, oh, cool. And I'm like, no, you don't get it. You don't understand how cool this is. And I've been on cloud 12 ever since. And to the Wheel of Time on Twitter, thank you so much. You know, I feel seen. We at the Black Tower feel seen, and we as a fandom feel seen. Mm-hmm. And it's just awesome. It's a great deal. Sorry. So there's my bragging. I'm done now.
It was good. I loved it. Yeah.
It was great. We all enjoyed it.
Kudos for that idea. I mean, like, that's very unique as a fandom to come together as one and decide as one what the name of your fandom will be. I don't know that I've heard that ever happening before. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. That's pretty amazing that we're that.
If you want to follow the progress, you can go on Twitter and look up hashtag #WattFandom, because that was sort of the hashtag that we used as the tournament sort of.
I'm going hunting
style.
now.
Like the death over the name.
Now, is it true, Josh, that Dragonsworn beat out Wheelies in the final?
Oh, no, that is actually not true. So,
how dare you, sir?
Here's
how
the thing.
dare you?
Wheelies actually died in the first round.
Thank goodness.
If there's one thing, like, I think that's what Wheel of Time fans were unanimous on, because I know some people still aren't like 100% sold on Dragonsworn. You know, maybe they'll get there, but like the one thing that everyone in this fandom is passionate about is that we will not be called fucking wheelies.
Let's hear wheelies.
I
remember a bad Wizard of Oz movie with the guys on the
or
one
a shoe.
I was just thinking about shoes, man. Like really obnoxious kids in malls. That's all I got in my brain.
I've gone back and I think I found some of them. And some of them are just amazing. So I'm trying to find the original post here. So
Thought I had. I still. You know what? It's probably on the Black Tower drive. So in OneDrive, I've still got the bracket, and I will put it. I'll post a link to the bracket so you can see all the submissions.
Awesome.
Yeah, the final was between Dragonsworn and Chosen. That was the final two.
Yes.
Well, they voted the right way.
Hey.
That was close.
I mean, even people like John from What Up was posting the polls and such. We had Fandaris Mai, Telly Thanriard, Braid Tuggers, Twats, Dreamers.
Lesby Nerdy just dropped in the chat. Yeah, not everyone likes Dragonsworn, but everyone hated wheelies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Loyalists, as in
Lesby
loyals.
Nerdy, thank you so much.
Oh yeah,
You're
Loyalist
amazing.
was a good. There was some really clever names.
Yeah.
People are
Band of the Red
geniuses.
Hand, Watchman, W-O-T.
Band of the Red Hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Watchers.
submission was Heron marked
Ah.
Nice.
because we're the best.
Wave the hand. We'll appreciate that, I'm sure.
Yeah, mine was Malkiri, and it went out in that round to
did.
People of the Dragon, sadly.
It did not last long.
No, it didn't. It went out in the second round, I think.
People
So.
of the Dragon, I think, went pretty far too.
Yeah, it went reasonably fast.
That's pretty good.
Like,
That is.
I think my personal favorite was one you've already said. I think it was Fandaris May.
It was so clever.
That
Fandaris
cracked
Mai,
me
yeah.
up.
It was good. It was good.
Threefold fans. Like,
Nice.
yeah,
Also good.
it's just some amazing options. So, yeah.
I'll be partial to Weavers forever.
Weavers, yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I also really liked Watchers.
Watchers was very clever. So,
I mean, we had, if anything, it's a testament to how creative and amazing Wheel of Time fans are. It really is. I mean, you guys out there watching, you guys out there who participate in these chats, just listening, content creators, and if you never do anything but read the books, I mean, you're amazing. It's a fantastic beast to be a part of. It's just absolutely wonderful.
I'm really
And you should
excited
be-
to meet more fans coming in.
yes.
Absolutely.
Excited.
Super
It
excited
took
for
me
that.
15 years to meet somebody besides my dad that had read Wheel of Time. So it's really exciting to be here tonight talking to 4 more.
It
So
took me 20 years in a pandemic before I met someone who hadn't read the story more than once and actually could remember it in any form of accuracy whatsoever. So, yeah, and I gave the book out at least 5 times in that period, and no one read it.
high
So,
fantasy nerds.
I had to raise somebody so I'd have someone to talk to
You're
about
like my dad. Gotcha.
My son and I do our podcast about Wheel of Time. That's where it came from.
Perfect.
Yes.
My dad
my old
slapped that thing in my hand when I was 15. It was like, read it.
go
There's nobody to talk to.
Yeah, my brother got me into it. So both of us, my older brother and I should say, started reading it, read it the whole thing through. And now, because of the show and because my poor family has to listen to my podcast, they've all started reading it. So my younger brother has finished Eye of the World. He's like well into The Great Hunt. My dad, my parents just came out here and my dad brought like the 21-year-old copy of Eye of the World that we have.
Nice.
And it's like
So-
beat up to hell.
My
Yeah,
dad has the first edition, but the cover's falling off of Eye of the World. It's so sad.
It happened to all of the Eye of the Worlds. It did.
So
He
I-
bought it when it came out. So
Yeah.
I have just posted the link to the Google OneDrive that has the full championship bracket. Now, I will confirm that Wheelies and Dragonsworn did not beat out Wheelies in the very end. Dragonsworn beat out Wheelies in the first round.
Yeah. There you go.
That's
it was
even better.
It literally was. If you look at round 1, line 2 and 3 on the spreadsheet, it was Wheelies versus Dragonsworn.
or like
That's
the percentage
great.
of votes, like do you get to see how many people downvoted?
Yeah, we did.
Or-
I did not. I
100.
should have. I should have recorded that. But if you look up the hashtag #WattFandom and you go back far enough, you'll be able to see the polls. It's on our page still.
I'm doing it.
You'll be able
I gotta
to see
see
the
this.
polls.
This
I
is
love
great.
it. I love it. God,
But, yeah.
this has been so much fun. Thank you everyone for joining me. It was all very last minute because this only happens when the innkeeper takes a night off, and only on Wednesdays because he's not doing every Sunday. And
When the innkeeper's away, the bar wenches will play.
yeah. So there we go. So these are my bar wenches, and I am the pub keeper. So I've thank you for joining me, bar wenches. Is bar wenches okay? Like bar
Proud
I'm
to
okay
be
with
what you know
Barfly.
what.
bar flies. These are my bar flies. There we go. We'll go with
And
that.
a
Okay.
bartender.
Proud
Show
to
you,
be one of your
I'm going to show
bar
you
wenches.
a nicely turned cab now. There you go, Rob.
Yes, excellent. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. It is all very last minute, and I wasn't prepared for it myself. But you know, innkeeper, I hope you're having a lovely evening, and Terry, I hope you're having a lovely
Yes.
name day. Speaking of the fandom, please like and share the video so people can find me when the innkeeper takes a night off, and we can meet more people and bring more people in to the Dragonspawn family. And yeah, I think I'm gonna just sign it off there because we've chatted long enough. And until next time, everybody, I can't remember my sign off. Sugdrel Quatan Nis again. There we go. Right.